If you're thinking of moving to the Longmont, Colorado area or thinking of moving near Boulder, Colorado and buying a home, you've probably noticed that we have a shortage of homes to buy in the area. So today I'm going to give you some tips about buying a home in Boulder, Colorado and Longmont, Colorado. And also let's talk about what would happen if you didn't buy a home. We're starting now. Hi, I'm Marilyn Ackerman, top Longmont Real Estate Agent with HomeSmart Realty here in lovely Longmont, Colorado. So I've been an agent for a while now, and this market in 2021 is so fast-paced. It is really keeping me on my toes. Homes that are under $1 million are selling very quickly. They're going under contract in about 5 days or less. And a lot of the reason that they're not going under contract within hours is because often listing agents are asking for a period of time such as 3 to 5 days so that everyone can make an offer who wants to get an offer in. Otherwise, they probably sell the same day. Homes that are over $1 million, say $1 to $2 million, are still selling very fast. Some of them sell in just a few days, while on average they're taking about 3 weeks to go under contract. In Longmont, we're located just a few miles north of Boulder and we're in Boulder County. The real estate market here is a strong seller's market. We have about 3 weeks of inventory for single family homes. Now, if it were to be a balanced market between buyers and sellers, we would have 6 months of inventory. So it's a lot less and it's very unbalanced. So how should you navigate this market as a buyer? Well, I've got some tips for you. And let's also explore what would happen if you didn't buy. My first tip is that you need to enlist the help of a trusted and experienced real estate agent. I know, real shock coming from a realtor. But here's the thing. In this market of escalation clauses, post-occupancy agreements, inspection waivers, appraisal waivers too, it's really hard to navigate it all on your own. And it's fast-paced too. So if you're thinking of just calling listing agents to see the homes, if they can't show it to you that day, you might be out of luck and you might lose out on that home. It's really best to have your own agent dedicated to working for you. And of course, the buyer's agent is always paid by the seller and not by the buyer. My second tip is to find yourself a lender that is willing to do what it takes in this market. So one thing that we are seeing are a lot of appraisal waivers. So that's terrific, and that is based on if your lender can do that. Of course, an appraisal waiver not only saves you money on the appraisal, but it also makes sure that that home is going to be valued at what your purchase price is. Another important thing that a lender needs to do for you as a client is when you make an offer on a home, that lender needs to call the listing agent of the home and tell them how great of a candidate you are for this loan. It's very important because listing agents with multiple offers don't often have time or take the time to call the lender for every offer that they get. My third tip is to examine your finances carefully. Look for hidden sources of money that you might have, because not only do you need the down payment, but it's very common in this market to offer a certain amount of money over the asking price that you will pay in cash if the home doesn't appraise for the purchase price. And if you don't have that money to pay over and above the purchase price, don't worry, because I have something to tell you that you could do to get a house anyway, even if you don't have that. My fourth tip is to be flexible on the condition of the home that you are making an offer. If it's a resale home, you're going to need to overlook some small issues that might be there. Of course, don't overlook the big ones, but really, if you can fix it, you really need to do that yourself after closing, because asking the seller to fix it could be a deal breaker. My fifth tip is that you need to know that this isn't a market for just the casual, nonchalant buyer. You must be very motivated to buy a home in this market, because when you see a home that you like, you don't have much time to really ponder it over, think about it. You really have to decide very quickly that you want to make an offer and then make your best offer right away. Also, be prepared to not negotiate the price down. In this market, it's really about how much over the asking are you going to pay when we're in the $1 million and less price range. Just because it is so competitive, that's where the negotiation happens, in how much over and not how much under. Well, you might be thinking at this point, why should I even get into this? This sounds like it's very competitive. Well, ask yourself, what would happen if you don't? If you don't buy a home and you need one, or maybe you have a home but you want to move up to a higher priced home, maybe more of a forever home for yourself. Longmont is predicted by Zillow to go up just a little over 10% in 2021. Now, so that means that if you waited until 2022, you're going to be paying 10% more for the same home, or you're going to be looking to tear down in a price range that may not be your first choice. I've been doing this for a long time, and for the last decade, I haven't had anyone say that they regret buying a home. The only things that I hear are that they wish they had bought 2 years ago, 4 years ago, you name it, because the prices have continued to go up. Sometimes double digits that they go up per year, but most of the time single digits, around 5% or more. This year just happens to be a year where it's going up in double digits. Now, what if you still don't want to buy a home even though you need one and you're renting? Well, rents do go up. Rents have doubled over the last 10 years, and that's pretty astounding. But they have gone up right along with home prices. So what if you have a home, but it's not suiting you and you want to move up to another home, one that's bigger, that has more of what you need and what might be more of a forever home? Well, to not do that right now would be a shame, because if your home that you have right now is worth less than the home that you want, and they're both going to appreciate at over 10% this year, then that just means that even though yours is appreciating, of course the one you want is appreciating much more, and you might need to sell and then look in a lower price range next year than you would be able to this year. Now, I said I had a tip if you didn't have the money in cash to pay over the asking price. Now, that tip is to look at new home communities, because with new home communities, the price is what it is. I have to say I've seen increases every 3 weeks since January, and now it's mid-March. But the price is what it is, so there won't be a bidding situation on those. If you're thinking of moving near Boulder, looking for the best place to live near Boulder, or moving to Longmont, I'd be so happy to help you find your next home. And also, if you're looking to sell in the area, I am happy to help you sell as well. So please contact me and let me know what I can do for you. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I put out new content every week about moving to Longmont. So if you're moving to Longmont, I'm sure you won't want to miss any of it. If you're looking for another video to watch, I have a great playlist about living in Longmont, so check it out. Thanks so much.